The list of all the offensive playmakers is endless. Like Mahomes is the cannon-armed quarterback, and you got Kareem Hunt, who is the league's defending rushing leader. Tyreek, Sammy, Kelsey, Damian Williams, Black Mamba, Conley, Spencer Ware, DeMarcus Ross. The list is long. It's electric. My underappreciated storyline this week is the underappreciated piece to the offense. Their fullback, Anthony Sherman. You might not know that name, but Anthony Sherman is a bad man. And in many ways, he's the glue to all of that. Along with Kelsey and Eric Fisher, he's the longest tenured member of the Chiefs offense. And his nickname is Sausage. He's been awesome this year. This razzle-dazzle offense, everyone loves it. There's a place for the fullback, too, you know. Yeah. Week 1, send him out wide and let Sausage fly. 36-yard receiving touchdown. Wow. Anthony Sherman, your fullback. And Kyle, you do this segment, Angry Runs. Yeah. And I appreciate your angry runs. But you missed maybe the best angry run of the entire season. It happened week 3. Let's get the ball to Sherman. Look at Sausage. Right here. Carry some dude, Sausage. Let's go, Sausage. Yeah. Still going. Go, Sausage.
He's having a party, Peter.
He is more than just a blocking back. This guy is the heart and soul of the offense. And amongst NFL fullbacks, he's a crazy stat. He's got the most consecutive starts in the NFL right now. Look at that. He's blowing everyone out of the water besides DeMarco. And he's also a character. We love content. We love characters on the show. His nickname is Sausage, so obviously he's not going to be a wallflower. Right. Check out the way Anthony Sherman showed up to training camp. Look at this outfit right here. That's our guy. That's our guy. He's got the beard. He's got the overalls. He also showed up once in all-American flag attire. Look at that look. This is our guy.
Sausage?
So you guys
wear Cape Bandix?
That is something.
The singlet.
The guys love him on the team, and we love all the Chiefs playmakers. But I think Anthony Sherman, not only for the character, not only for the catch and for the run, but for what he does every day in that building, he deserves some love. Sausage, I'm here for you. Anthony Sherman, the underappreciated piece to an awesome Chiefs offense.
Wow. Well, first, I just want to say a huge congratulations to you for winning the All-Pro position at fullback. That is amazing.
Thank you.
Big deal, man. I think the people have voted, and they want to know what's Sausage and Shermanator. Give me background on both those.
So my first year in Kansas City, Coach Reed, during training camp, started calling me Sausage in install meetings. Hey, the sausage is going to be in the flat here. Oh, the sausage is going to make this block. And I'm like, he's going to be talking to me. So I asked him one day, I go, Coach, he goes, you kind of remind me of a sausage. Just short, stocky, just all put together in there. And I'm like, okay, well, Coach Reed, going to be a Hall of Fame coach, gives me a nickname. First year in Kansas City, third year in the NFL, I said, I don't care what it is, I'm rolling with it. So then I went with the Sausage, and now it came this past season. I had a long touchdown catch, and he started making jokes, calling Sausage with hands. So we just, whatever he says, I'm 100% okay with it.
So is it like Sausage or the Sausage? Kind of like Google and Facebook. Is it the Facebook, the Google, the Sausage, or do we throw the out?
Whatever you want. It's whatever people want to call me.
I like this free market deal.
Yeah, I'm fine with whatever. I'm fine with it. People call me Shermanator and stuff. And
well, tell me about the Shermanator.
So that was just easier way to get your name on Twitter and Facebook. You know, that's
so did you come up with it, or did you?
Yeah, I came up with it when I first started, and it just stuck with me, and it was one of those things. It was easy Twitter handle and that kind of stuff to remember to tell people.
Oh man, incredible. Well, let's go into your football career. Back in high school, you were the 2006 Massachusetts Gatorade Player of the Year. Mm-hmm. Then you get recruited. You're a 3-star by Rivals. You get recruited by 2 colleges, UConn and Boston College. Then before we know it, you are killing it on the NCAA fields. I mean, you're getting a lot of credit. You're getting just a lot of accolades. Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Wikipedia has you as the ESPN All-American, which to me is, that's just amazing. And then, of course, now you have made it, you got drafted in the 5th round by the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. 2013, you hit the Chiefs, and now you are a Pro Bowler, man. Tell us kind of how the rise, I mean, when you are only recruited as a 3-star by 2 colleges, and the next thing we know, you've risen. So talk to us about that.
So the biggest thing was I was a tailback and linebacker in high school.
Okay.
So all my film to send to these colleges were all tailback and Mike linebacker. Well, Mike linebacker, I'm a little too short to play in the NFL. And running back, well, now we all know that I'm not fast enough, and I don't have the best vision to run at an NFL level or college level. So it was one of those things where UConn came to me, was going after my junior season, and was like, hey, we really like you. We want to offer you a full scholarship. And not a lot of people know this, but there was a kid a year older than me, Robbie Vaughn, that was going to UConn on a scholarship for defensive back. So easy connection there with knowing someone at the university, and then I could ask him questions that most kids can't ask the colleges because they don't have someone already in the system ahead of me. So I wanted to stay close to home for family, and my grandparents on my mom's side never missed a game in high school, baseball, football, and they never missed a home UConn game.
Amazing.
And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to stay close to home, so they could come. My sisters, both parents could come. And, God has a plan for all of us, and that's where I met my beautiful wife and 3 kids now. So things worked out.
You bet. And they got great pizza spots right across the street from UConn's campus.
Well, they did when I was there, and now if you go back to UConn's campus, it's not even close to the same thing, and there's Skyrise. I went there when there was nothing. Kids now have the high-end college lifestyle where there's like a little mini town there.
Oh my gosh. Well, see, I was there 15, 20 years ago.
So then, yeah, you've seen the new.
Incredible.
Pizza's good, but there's even restaurants now, not just pizza.
A little upscale.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. What's the most difficult part for you of being a professional athlete? And are there any stories or anecdotes that would be something we'd all be like, oh, that's cool?
I think, I don't have crazy anxiety about anything, but I do get anxious, and because I'm such a perfectionist and I want to be perfect and not let my teammates down, not let the coaches down. And if we've tried to go over something, I want to make sure that it's perfect. So I get a little anxiety before, and it's always been like that, because even when I was in Pop Warner football, which is elementary school, I would throw up before every game. But after I threw up, I was fine.
Yeah.
It was just getting those nerves out that still stick to me today, and it's just funny thinking, I've done every level, but I still get that anxiety because I don't want to let teammates down, coaches down, the fans down.
I wonder how much of that is anxiety and how much your brain is firing off with adrenaline and dopamine and everything else.
It could be everything all into once.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Well, you've been married for 5 years to Jessica, which congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you.
And you've got 3 kids together. What's the most difficult part of being married?
Just, with 3 kids, trying to find that time alone and to continue to be in love with each other, and not just, okay, I got the kids, you got the kids, and then you'd run the 2 separate lives you're living. Just when those kids go to bed, you guys are all in together, and just, either getting into a TV show, talking to each other about the day. It's so easy to just, I'm exhausted, let's just go to bed. The kids are asleep, and she's here all day with them. Yeah. And I don't tell her this, but I would not trade positions. I've experienced a couple of days in the off season with just the kids, and I'm like, you're more suited to do that.
You'd rather get hit by a lineman.
I would rather run down on kickoff and run my body into a 300-pound human than take care of the kids for 12 hours a day, all day.
I get it. I do. Totally. Well, you guys contend for your marriage. I mean, just talking with you all, you have a regular date night, it sounds like.
Absolutely.
How do you structure your schedule so that is a thing? That's a non-negotiable. I mean, everybody has to miss, some things here and there, but you guys fight for that in your relationship, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a great babysitter, and she knows Fridays our date night, and she tries to make it work, and if she doesn't, we try to figure out another time during the week that we can get out and just be with each other, no kids, no distractions, and just have a nice meal, maybe a movie. Yeah. I'm an avid hunter, so I know Fridays are off limits during deer season to go hunt, even those might be the only time of week that we can get out.
That's a big deal. I mean, for real. If you love hunting that much, Which you do.
Yes.
I mean, you even named your daughter after a gun, right?
Yeah, kind of. It worked out like that. It was.
Depends on who you ask.
Well, we were gonna name if we had another boy, it was possibly Remington.
Yes.
And then we were like, well, we kind of like Remy for a girl.
Yeah.
And we kind of wanted to stay with the short name, so it ended up being perfect. And
she's
I ended
adorable.
up getting in a hunting name there too. So Rex, Bo, and Remy, it all works out.
That is so cool. What's your favorite part of being married?
Just having someone, to come home to and talk to. And, you might have a long day at work, or someone that understands. I'm probably not the nicest person to talk to after a loss. So she's like, hey, take your time. Come talk to me when you're ready. Drive home by yourself. I'll drive home, whatever. So she just understands and gets how I am, and being able to share that with someone and then raise these beautiful kids, it's special.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So being dad and raising these kids, you've got Rex, Bo, and Remy, 2 and
7 months.
7 months. What's the biggest challenge for you as a dad? What do you look at and think, gosh, I got to keep my eyes on this?
I think the biggest thing is just trying to lead them in the right direction.
Yeah.
And making sure that it's not the direction that I want them to go, it's the direction that they want to go.
Yeah.
But keep them on the right path to that direction, and just trying to be a leader, but also be a friend and someone that they can talk to and confide in, but also be that guy where you can't, I'm not your friend. We're not buddy.
Right.
You're still my son. I still have to discipline you, but know, hey, if there's a problem, you can come talk to me.
Well, you are a commanding figure. I bet that they, I bet they know where you are.
They know how to push the buttons, especially being the two boys.
Yeah.
I had 4 younger sisters growing up.
Oh my goodness.
So I know one thing, and then having the boys, and I talk to my mom almost every day. That's me as a kid. So I know how they were when I was a kid now.
I love it. I used to say whenever I would look at my kids, and if I disciplined them, it looked like I was disciplining a little me, because it felt like I would have done the same things they got caught for.
So there's certain things that I get to turn around and laugh at, because I'm like,
gosh.
wow, this is funny, but it's like, no, you can't do this. You're not old enough to talk like this yet.
Yeah, right. Well, what's your favorite thing about being a dad? What do you love about it?
I love the fact that, I don't want to tie everything into football, but coming home after a loss, they don't care.
Yeah.
They're excited to see daddy. And, coming down here, wrestling, playing their new toys from Santa Claus, and just, getting away from the world, getting away from all the stress, and just diving into them and trying to ask them how their day was, and see how school was, and what projects did they bring home.
Wow.
So just trying to be involved in their lives as much as possible any time that I get away from work.
Yeah. And it shifts
home.
your mood. It makes you feel different after you're ticked.
Oh yeah, I get home from the loss, and they run up to me and give me a hug, and they're like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
There's more important things in life than winning a lot.
Right.
In real life, there's more important things, and the health and safety of my kids is one, and just being able to come home and they don't. Rex was, I didn't watch your football game.
So
it doesn't matter. I just go hang out.
They don't need an autograph.
No, it's like you want to wrestle? I'm like, I'm a little tired, but okay, let's go wrestle.
Let's do it. Is there anything they say or do that, just kind of touches the dad heart for you, that makes you feel special?
Yeah, I think when, you're putting him down for bed and my oldest looks up, or even the middle looks up and says, Daddy, I love you. Whatever happened or was said that day, or my attitude putting to bed, because they've been fighting for 30, 40 minutes about going to bed, it's like, oh my goodness, melt me.
Yeah, right.
I'm done.
There's a list of names I wrote down, that labels. And so if you were to choose one of these as the descriptor word that your kids would use towards you, or that you would even identify yourself as a dad, would you call yourself a teacher, a comedian, a friend, enthusiast, recreational guide, or apostle? Which one? You want me to hit him again?
Yeah, please.
Teacher, Comedian, friend, enthusiast, recreational guide, or apostle?
I'd like to say teacher.
Yeah.
I'd like to try to teach them as much as I know or I can help them with and show them this is the way you should probably do it.
Yeah, yeah. So let's now shift to your dad. What was your dad's relationship with you like? What was that like?
So we have a great relationship. We still do.
Yeah.
He's more of a quiet, older school, like, hey, we don't really talk about our feelings or talk about our things. So I'm kind of I would say mama's boy.
Yeah.
And that way, because I can talk to my mom about anything. We talk all the time. And I'm not saying that I don't have a great relationship with my dad, but it's just a different, like, hey, I'm not going to call him for a girl problem I had in high school or something like that. I'm going to call my mom. It was one of those things where, you know, he's a great role model.
Yeah.
He's worked his entire life. He's worked hard. He's had multiple jobs. He showed that work ethic to you know, if you want something, you got to go out and get it.
Yeah.
He showed me that, and then that's what the biggest thing I take from him.
When you talk about him, I hear admiration, work ethic, and things. Are there other things that you look at your dad and you're like, you know, I really, really admire what my dad gave to me in blank?
Yeah, I mean, I admire the work that he had to do, or the days that he'd work all day, and then I had a baseball game or a football game or football practice that it might have been 6 o'clock at night, but he took me to and sat there and watched the whole thing, and then got in the car and explained what he thought could have happened differently or what I could improve on. And you know, there was a ton of times where we lived in an apartment complex with a big main big main grass area with the pool, and we'd go out there and he'd hit baseballs.
Oh my God.
Because I would play outfield, and he'd go out there and hit baseballs until I would just fall asleep at night. And like, he was just always there for whenever I wanted to play catch, you know, go somewhere, go do something. He would always be the transportation.
Is that right? Well, you ended up becoming an accomplished high school baseball player. You were the captain of your team and things of that sort too, right?
Yeah. So I had a couple of tryouts right after senior year that I declined to go to just because I wanted to pursue football.
Wow.
Now that I look back at it, maybe baseball wouldn't have been a bad decision either.
I can imagine, especially when you're bruised up.
Yeah, exactly. Week 17 of the season coming around.
Hello. Oh my gosh. Well, as you honor your dad, obviously you have a great dad. I mean, what he sacrificed for you is, I mean, that's top shelf stuff. Can you think of maybe what is one of your dad's greatest pieces of advice that he gave you?
You know, just never quit and always work for what you want.
Yeah.
And if you want something, you got to go out there and work as hard as you can to get it. And
you saw him do it.
Yeah, I mean, he 4 younger sisters and me. Yeah. So he had a lot of mouths to feed, and he made sure that on a daily basis there was food on the table and clothes on our back.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, you're 5'10". This is his stats I read online.
Yeah.
You're 5'10", 242.
I was hoping we'd give me an inch, but that's fine.
I'll give you 5'11". Shoot, let's go 6.
It might say 6 on my driver's license.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and affirm that. So 6 foot, 242, you are a big man. The secular culture promotes this idea of manhood being power, fame, physical attraction. You're raising 2 boys. You got 2 boys, 4 and 2. How are you going to talk to them about biblical manhood, biblical masculinity? What is it and what is it not? And what's this mean to you?
There is, and I'm very early in my walk, and Philip Kelly was really the one that, you know, got me into this beautiful journey that I'm on now.
Is that right?
And I think the biggest thing is there is so much power in knowing the Bible, understanding the Bible, and being able to talk to people about it, and you know, might have, you know, if you see someone down or you know someone that might be in a tough spot, being able to give them the word and letting them know that, you're not alone.
Yeah.
Regardless of what situation you might think you're in or something like that, you just take a minute, pray, and he will answer your prayers.
Yeah, I love it. So your idea of manhood today is Christ-centric. It's seeking first the kingdom of God.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more powerful than the kingdom of God.
Nothing. For real. I mean, your identity's there.
Yeah, for a man to know that and know that, you know, you're not alone.
Yeah.
There's a lot to say when a male is not alone and knows that he's not alone and has proof and fact. You know how you always want to be right, but well, he's given you the book to be right.
Come on, man.
And just know and being able to have that there for when people try to turn you down or the haters try to, you know, say something, you can just turn there and give them the truth.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's interesting when we think about seeking God, seeking Jesus, because there's a lot of guys that, you know, hesitate coming to a men's weekend because sometimes some guys don't feel like they fit the fullback profile of the Kansas City Chiefs, but they got character and they're on fire for a relationship with God. They're great models of something that's transcendent, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was me, you know, I'd say 5 years ago, not wanting to be at a conference for, you know, Christians or strong biblical men. Like, I didn't want anything to do. I grew up Catholic and really didn't understand. And Philip was one of those guys that was like, hey, just come, just give me a chance. Give me a chance. Let me speak the word to you. And I had nothing left. Like, there was no more excuses in my bag to give him. And I was like, okay. And then instantly.
So what was that whole process like? So you meet Philip.
Philip was the team pastor at the time, and we became close through mutual friends, and now he was still my teammate, Dustin Colquitt. And we hit it off, and it's one of those things where I couldn't thank him enough. And what I want to say 2 years ago, he baptized me again.
Oh, come on.
You know, I was baptized as a child, but I didn't have the understanding of it, and now I dedicated my life again to Jesus Christ.
So in 2 years, 2 years ago, you came to the choice point.
I came to the choice point and had Philip do it. I went to a small athlete conference, first one, and it was powerful.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And so let's talk about your spiritual life a little bit. What are the ways that you keep your heart thriving? I mean, you're a pro. So, I mean, first of all, you take your professional football lens and you are, you know, as a professional, you're giving everything you got. I mean, you work 12-hour days through the week.
Yeah, and I'm still working to be a pro in that. And it's one of those things, but no one ever is a pro. There's always things learning. You know, you might know the Bible, but then you read it again and there's something, you think about something completely different.
Yeah.
So I think I just try to be conscious of my time and taking it towards and really, you know, praying in the morning and trying to pray before bed, or even, I mean, my son might be better than I am about praying. You know, the other day we were driving in the car and he was praying in the back seat and had no idea that he was praying. His hands were like this, and he was talking, and I hear him say, I turn the radio down, and I just start listening. It made me like, I'm doing something right. And he was like, are you listening? I said, no, buddy, I'm not listening. Well, I was, because I wanted to hear what he said, and I was so proud
of
that than anything else that has happened, just knowing that he has already started a great relationship that I wish I had earlier, but I'm getting to now.
I hear, absolutely, and I hear the energy in your heart about that. So there's maybe an equal or greater amount of joy in your heart just watching your kids first get glimpses of Jesus and learning that he's not just a theory or a philosophy, but he's a person and he's a relationship. And I mean, just hearing you've got tons of energy around that.
Yeah, I know. It was funny because if you had Philip up here and he could describe how I was at first and now where I am now, my whole life has been, I'm not saying better, but your attitude. Every day you wake up with a different attitude, different energy that you didn't have before, but now you know where you're getting that from as you get deeper and deeper
I love
and
it.
it's from the man upstairs. It's
Come on.
great.
Come on. So you, getting a little personal with you, when you do, do you have a devotional time? And I'm not.
No,
that's not a metric, by the way.
I try. It's very difficult, and not making an excuse, but for running around or with the kids and stuff like that. So I have to do, and I would like to do a better job of. Probably this off season is getting up in the morning and diving into the Bible for 30, 40 minutes and just taking that time, quiet time for myself and getting into this word.
Well, I think about all the men who will be watching this and the tension that they feel in their life because they want to have the daily devotions. Sometimes they don't, and then they feel like that they are a sub-Christian, kind of a failure. And so what you're saying is that you really enjoy the journey with Jesus, and that he's not got to be in a formalized setting, that he drives with you. He's a part of your heart and soul.
That's the one great thing is he's always listening.
Yeah.
And you could be driving, you could be in the shower and just sit and talk to him. That's the biggest thing. It doesn't have to be this one spot, this one area that you sit there and pray. It could be anywhere.
Yeah.
It could be on the drive to work in the morning.
Yeah.
It could be lifting weights in between sets. Just a quick little prayer. It doesn't have to be crazy. And that's something that I've learned to add to my day through great influences and just becoming more and more involved in his word.
I'm celebrating the fact that your son prays while you drive, but I'm a little distracted because I wonder, is it your driving that's causing him to pray a lot more?
I don't think so. We take him to church with us, and I think it's one of those things that he goes to a Christian school, and I think this is one of those things that we've made a conscious effort to put him in those places and have him be exposed to those, that he's enjoying his ride too, and it was awesome to hear that though.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm going to key off of that. The people you have in his life, that's going to be one of the greatest contributors to his future. Yeah. It's not just you, because as they get older, you'll always be dad, and you're a safe place. But as they get older, when they have friends and teachers and coaches, that youth pastors that model and inspire, that's going to be huge. I love that they already are getting that in their lives. Yeah,
we made we made a conscious effort to make that happen, and me and my wife sat down and talked about it, and we're like, this is what we want to do, and I was 100% on board. I said, let's do it, and he's been going there. He loves it, and then he goes to Life Church with us, and he loves their Life Kids, and they do a phenomenal job over there, and he comes home and tells us all about it, and he even thanked, I wasn't sure if he was in his letter to Santa the other night, he kind of started like a prayer. He said, I want to thank Santa for mommy and daddy. So I was like, okay, well, we can write that down, but I don't know, we're kind of getting confused here. But he was good. I mean, he knows, he tries to thank people for what they did, and then he's trying to be a good kid, and that's the biggest thing for me is just watching him grow into the man that he's going to become.
Yeah, absolutely. When I think about what goes into your spiritual life, I'm hearing a lot of points. How important is church? Going to a church, and then you've got friends that, like Philip, who is, he's apparently a voice, an influence, an energy from God to you.
Yeah, 100%. He is my friend, one of my close friends for a reason.
Yeah.
And he's been there through the beginning. And he's still there today. And the biggest thing for church is we play on Sundays.
Yeah.
So we can't go to service on Sunday because we're at the field or in a different city. So the team does a good job with just giving us a chapel, the night before Saturday nights, and just making a conscious effort to. I might be tired from travel, or I might want to eat, go to dinner, but my meetings, as I'd say, start at 6:30, and that's when chapel is. It's not 7:30 when my meetings really start. I start an hour early because I know that if I leave the hotel, I have to be back for chapel.
And that's that big of a deal to you?
It is.
Even though you're tired, you're hungry.
Yeah, just hearing his word, it gives you a little spark, you know. And the biggest thing for us is, like I said, the anxiety and stuff like that. So we have a team prayer that, you know, Chris Conley does, and he's phenomenal. And just sitting there and listening to him pray and you know, praying with him and going back, it's a kind of a weird feeling that those nerves and that stuff goes away.
That is amazing.
And until that happens, but it's like you reassure it and you hear it again and you're like, right, I don't have to be anxious about this or worried about this, because he's got a plan and this is where he wants us to be, and then this is his stage for his glory that we go out there and play that game.
I love it. Well, you're speaking to the heart of men, and God has given you a platform. And in this influence that you have, is there anything that you haven't said that you would just feel like, I really want to say this to men. I want men to hear my heart on this.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, and one of the things that I used to think when I was not the best man of God, that it made you a little soft. And now that I have learned his word, and there's nothing more powerful.
Come on.
So don't be afraid to tell people and know and be joyful about your walk. Don't be afraid to invite the neighbor or the guy next to you at the desk or something like that to church, because you don't know what they're going through, and it might be something they need. That light might need to click for them, and then they can have a great rest of their life or whatever else is going on. But as a man, don't be afraid to speak your mind about your relationship with God, because there's nothing better.
That's a powerful word. A powerful word.